Now that's what I'm talking about. Miami Heat get the revenge, 118-100 against the Chicago Bulls. What's up, you guys? Your boy Ernest back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Before we get rocking and rolling on another Miami Heat Talk adventure, you guys, don't forget to click the like button, hit the subscribe button. It just takes a couple seconds to do that. Helps me immensely. Let's get this channel up to 3,000 subscribers. Now, I'm excited, y'all, because I got to admit, that loss against the Chicago Bulls on Saturday sucked. But it's like I said, man, in any given basketball game, any team can win. You know, even though if a team sucks, these are still some of the very best players in the world. So any game, any team can win. You see some of the best teams in the NBA lose to some of the worst teams sometimes. It just happens. But it's not about the game that you lose. It's about how you respond. Now, last night, it was the second game between the Heat and the Chicago Bulls. So we wanted revenge. And did the Miami Heat get it? A blowout victory, that is exactly how a contending team responds to a loss like that. Now, look, it's not 9 games in a row, but you win 8 out of the last 9. You bring your record to 9-5, 4th in the Eastern Conference. Like I mentioned yesterday, Miami's competing with the best of them. You got Boston, you got Philly, you got Milwaukee, and then you got Miami. Top 4 teams in the NBA, just like I called in the beginning of the season. So Miami is right there with the best of them. Now, we do got some challenges coming up, but before I get there, I want to talk a little bit about this game. Because these Miami Heat players stepped up. Excuse me for 1 second, you guys. You know how computers are, you pull up the stats, but then they go away. So I just want to talk a little bit about it. My bad, y'all. Okay, so let's go over them, shall we? Because Mr. Consistent Bam Adebayo, who's always doing his thing and stepping up. 23 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, 8 for 14 for the field. He shoots 7 for 9 from the free throw line. Bam Adebayo has been Mr. Consistent and our MVP this season, you guys. The proof is in the numbers. I'm asking before the season, as long as Bam Adebayo stays with what he was doing in the playoffs, he should be fine. Bummed out by a lot of the games that he was having, scoring only 8 to 10 points. He does give you double-digit rebounds, but the games that he wasn't, it was frustrating. You're seeing in the playoffs thinking, damn, Bam, you're more than this. It's not just Jimmy's show. Bam Adebayo has called to the challenge this season, you guys. He's playing like he's never played before. It's not the fact that he's getting 23 points, 11 rebounds. It's the fact that how consistent he's doing it every game. Because last season, yes, Bam would have games like this, but then he would follow it up with a 13.5 rebound game. And you're thinking, what the hell is going on with this dude? That's not the 2024 season. He's not only called to the challenge, he's exceeded expectations. Bam Adebayo is definitely Miami Heat's MVP this season. He's taken his captain role very seriously. But it ain't just him. Duncan Robinson, ever since Tyler Herro's gone down, been playing on another level, averaging over 20 points a game. Last night, he gives you another over 20-point game. 22 points. He goes 7 for 11 for the field, 6 for 9 for the three-point line, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. The game prior in Chicago, he actually had 7 assists. So Duncan Robinson is evolving his game even more. And this is why I've been posing the question, you guys. Is it smart that when Tyler Herro comes back, you go back with Duncan Robinson on the bench? I feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Duncan Robinson in the starting lineup with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo works. We've not only seen it this season, we've seen it seasons prior. And if it didn't work with Duncan, who did it work with? Max Strus. Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo work very well when the starting shooting guard is a shooter that can create on the ball. Now, Tyler can as well, but what Tyler really relies on is ball-dominant isolation plays. So that's why I was suggesting if Tyler Herro comes off the bench as the leading 6-man, it may work better for Tyler. Because there was a lot of points in this game when Jimmy Butler was in the bench, he couldn't really score the ball. That's where Tyler Herro comes to play. Now, the great thing about this team is that Eric Spoelstra is going to have a lot of options when Tyler comes back. Does he want to continue going with Kyle Lowry in the backcourt? Does he want to start Caleb Martin next to possibly Duncan Robinson? Do you want to put Tyler Hero with Duncan Robinson? Or maybe you want to go with Tyler Hero and Kyle Lowry like you did before. I don't think that would work, but the thing about this team is that Spoelstra is going to have a lot of options. Now, Jimmy Butler yesterday doesn't go Hemi mode. He has a pretty bad game. Gives you 16 points. He was a plus 17, so every time he was out there, the Heat benefited. So it's not like he was bad for the team. He just didn't have great stats. He does give you 6 assists, 3 rebounds, a steal. He goes 4 for 11 for the field, 0 for 2 for the three-point line. That sucks because, as we know, Jimmy Butler's quest is to average 50% behind the three-point line. This doesn't help. So he doesn't really have a great game. Kyle Lowry starts again. 27 minutes. 8 points. He is a plus 15 on the court. He gives you 5 rebounds, 6 assists. It's like I've said before about Kyle Lowry. I've said it all season and I'll say it again. The things that Kyle Lowry does on the court does not show on the stats. I will admit that. Kyle Lowry is a great NBA player. He is a champion. But Kyle Lowry, to me, should be playing the same position that Kevin Love is playing. Because Kevin Love is also a champion. Kevin Love is also a great player as well. Kevin Love had an even better game last night, playing less minutes. All I'm saying is that Kyle Lowry, at 37 years old, the way that he's playing is not a starting point guard. And the numbers continue to show. We know that Kyle Lowry's best role on this team is coming off the bench like he did in the playoffs. Can't start. These numbers are proving it. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Those are great numbers coming off the bench. When you're a $30 million player starting, it's a problem. This is going to go continuing on to the season, you guys. It's like I've said before, I think it's time to give somebody those minutes, whether it be Josh Richardson, whether it be Caleb Martin, whether it be Tyler Hero when he comes back. I think somebody else needs to start in the point guard position. And you got a lot of options, man. I mean, Caleb Martin, he gives you 21 minutes, only 2 points. Caleb Martin's still trying to find his stretch back. He goes 1 for 6 in the field. He's not playing like that guy in the playoffs. You can tell this injury was a lot more serious. The good news is it's only November. So Caleb Martin, come December, January, I think he's going to come to his stretch. One thing I will say about Caleb Martin, though, is that he is a pest defensively out there. I love seeing what Caleb Martin could do on the defensive end. That is definitely what he's going to do for now when he finds his footing. Haywood Highsmith gives you 20 minutes starting, 7 points, 3 for 4 for the field. Nothing to get excited about. Going back to Kevin Love, 15 amazing minutes off the bench. This is why I feel this is the best position for Kyle Lowry as well. There is not going to be any other team in the NBA that's going to have 2 former NBA champions coming off the bench leading the squad. And the bench really stepped up last night. You got 11 points from Kevin Love with 8 rebounds. He goes 4 for 6 behind the field, 3 for 5 behind the three-point line. And then only 15 minutes. Kevin Love as the backup center for Bam Adebayo is showing that it's working. Great play, great change by Eric Spoelstra. I mean, we just continue to see why he's the best coach in the NBA, guys, honestly. Jaime Jaquez, man, shows the hell out. I questioned Jaime Jaquez last game. He went 2 for 4 against the Bulls, 27 minutes with 6 points. He answered the calling last night, you guys. 33 minutes off the bench, 8 for 13 from the field, 19 points from the rookie. I mean, that's incredible, you guys. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Jaime Jaquez is the steal of the draft. Proof, man. But it's not only them. You also get Josh Richardson, who gives you 10 points. 4 for 12 for the field. Not Josh's best game, but I like that he's taking the shots. He goes 2 for 6 behind the three-point line. If those shots go down, it's a different game. It's an even bigger blowout game. So I am happy with Josh. He's finding his footing on this team. So all in all together, you guys, this Miami Heat squad is showing continuously that they are a contender. Now, here's the thing I need to say about the team. I've said this before and I'll say it again. A trade is definitely needed. But I don't think it's the trade that we think we need. A lot of people are thinking this Miami Heat team needs to go for the superstar. I've said it before. Wait for a disgruntled player to come up and trade for him. There's been a lot of talks about trading for Zach LaVine, including Tyler Hero. I think that's a huge mistake. Zach LaVine is not $13 million better than Tyler Hero. No way. I do think the trade that we need to make is something similar with what we did in 2020. I think this 2024 Miami Heat team, you guys, is very similar to our 2019-2020 team. Before the pandemic happened, before the world shut down, the Miami Heat was one of the hottest teams in the NBA with Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero. We have that same team that's much better 4 years later. I think the trade that we made in 2020, when we traded Justice Winslow, Dion Waiters, and we got back Jay Crowder, Solomon Hill, Andre Iguodala, that helped better the team. That is a trade that the Miami Heat needs to make. Now, who are you going to trade for? I have no idea. But Andy Ellsberg and Pat Riley will figure that out. You have Kyle Lowry, sweetie of a $30 million expiring contract. Nikola Jovic, you guys, can be a tradable asset to the right team. He's playing very well in the G League right now. He may not be the best fit with the Miami Heat system. I don't want to trade him. I think Nikola Jovic is a diamond. But if you can get somebody that can help your roster right now, preferably a starting point guard, somebody that can come in and help your team. We've talked about Alex Caruso in the past. Other names have been thrown out there, but nothing has been solidified yet. So the Miami Heat definitely need to make a trade. I just don't think it's the trade that people think we need to make. The Heat do have a few tough games coming up, you guys. So this stretch, the Heat going 8-1 was perfect because now you got a lot of games that are going to put you to the test. Tomorrow, you got the Cleveland Cavaliers. On Friday, you got the New York Knicks. Saturday the 25th on a back-to-back, you got the Brooklyn Nets. And then closing that out, you got an in-season tournament game. Tuesday, November 28th. There we go. Circle that game down, you guys. Rematch. Miami Heat versus the Milwaukee Bucks. I am hoping that we have a fully healthy roster. I am hoping that we have a healthy Tyler Hero going to that game because I want to see Miami and Milwaukee battle it out, you guys. That's going to be one hell of a game. These next 4 games are going to be bangers. I'm predicting a 3-1. A 3-1 record within these 4 games. I think the Heat can do it. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. How do you feel about this win against the Chicago Bulls? Do you think that the Miami Heat, with the blowout victory that they made a statement? Also, let me know, you guys, about the trade idea that I had. Do you think a big trade is needed, or do you think we can do something similar like we did in 2020 to even out this roster? Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, you guys. Click the notification bell to get all my updates. And until next time, your boy Ernest out. That's enough said. Let's go Heat.